What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it. All true. All true. And this is exactly why it's important for people to pay attention and see what's going on. This is absolutely disgusting and trash to me. And that's the simple fact. Like I haven't myself been in the military. I was in the police academy for a little while. I didn't like it. That's a different story. You know, it wasn't even that I didn't like it. It was just things that were said, things that were done. That's a different story, Tom. But what I do have to say is the simple fact of, and this is me being real. It's the simple fact of, you know, my brother served in the military for 4 years. Seeing what, you know, the things that he went through and others. And for Tim Waltz to be, I'm gonna just play the video. We gonna see what he gonna say. I don't want this to be a long intro, but it definitely it ain't right.
I mean, he just, as soon as the shots were fired in Iraq, he turned and ran the other way and hung his hat up and quit.
We'll get to Barron's new message for voters.
I want to keep pausing during this video, but I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Somebody just quitting, and you can just quit like that. That's crazy.
In a moment. But this all starts years earlier when Barron says Walz's misleading statements about his military service first led him to come forward in the fall of 2018.
So you try to get this message out, but Minnesota's largest newspaper checks it out, says it's 100% true, but yet refuses to print.
When I hung the phone up, I said, what the hell is this, North Korea?
Back in 2005, a warning order went out to the 1st Battalion, 125th Field Artillery to mobilize for a mission to Iraq. At the time, Walz served as the unit's highest non-commissioned officer, but months later, Walz would retire from the Guard, avoid the deployment, and run for Congress. Tom Barron's was next in line for the position and was asked to take his place.
I was like, well, for Pete's sake. This.
And I definitely got to give, you know, that thanks for his service anyways, but just the fact that, you know, being next in line to take your position because you quit. That's crazy. That's insane.
I was like, well, for Pete's sake, this guy quit. And if I say I'm not going to do it, I mean, what the hell kind of leadership is that? If a company would say that we're going to deploy to Iraq or somewhere and you're going to be gone for whatever amount of time, and then the foreman just says, no, I'm not going. I mean, what does that say to the 500 people that work in that factory?
Barron's would go on to serve in Iraq on a nearly 2-year deployment as a command sergeant major. All while Walz began using that title as a congressman. Barron says he first contacted Walz with his concerns, sending these letters to Washington. They all went unanswered.
But then we fast forward to the election in 2018 in Minnesota, and you try at that time to get people's attention with this story and also with what seems to be a very misleading statement that he continued to make about his service.
It kind of just sat there. You know, when he was a congressman, he bragged that he was a command sergeant, retired command sergeant major. I'm the highest ranking person ever in the House, and, you know, all this lie that he was telling. The state of Minnesota came out after 2018, after this was exposed, and they said, well, he can say that he served as a command sergeant major, but he can't say he's a retired one because he's not.
And that's what he was saying.
And he was saying that, and there was lots of public, you know, lots of cards coming in the mail, you know, for him to be elected. They said right on there he's a retired command sergeant major, just tooting his own horn, just hanging on the coattails of people that actually are command sergeant majors that went through all the process and put all the time in.
A spokesperson for the Minnesota National Guard said Walz wasn't able to retire as a command sergeant major since he failed to complete coursework and requirements related to the rank. Verified documents show the Army corrected his service record. Walz was reduced in rank to an E8 Master Sergeant after retirement and his conditional promotion. Alpha News again asked Governor Walz if he's using the Command Sergeant Major rank on his campaign website for political gain this year. A spokesperson said this has been in the news before and pointed us to a past story where Walz said, quote, normally this type of partisan political attack only comes from one who's never worn a uniform.
It's stolen valor is really what it is. I don't know of anybody else that's done what he's done. But we called it the truth about Tim Walz.
I'm so sorry. It's like this fly, y'all, that keeps it's just right here. I apologize. I don't even know why flies do that. This is a big room. It's so much space. but it tends to mess with me. My video that I'm sharing to y'all. Y'all amazing people. Come on, we back in.
He's done. But we called it the truth about Tim Walz.
In 2018, Barons gave the story the full court press.
We, retired command sergeant majors of the Minnesota National Guard, feel it is our duty and responsibility to bring forth the truth as we know it concerning his service record. I put together information on it and I sent it out to every single radio station and newspaper and TV station I could in the state. The bottom line in all of this is gut-wrenching and sad to explain. When the nation called, he quit.
That's sickening, y'all. That's real sickening. And then go out here and act like you just... That's crazy. This is what we aim to do, to put out the real. This is what, when I watch different stories and people get mad when I say that, Trump, telling the truth and being straightforward and doing this and doing that. This is what I mean. They hate to see the truth. They hate to see you, but this is, being a person that just gets the truth out there. This is sad. I'm gonna show y'all a couple other clips on why. Hold on. All right, y'all, listen to this.
Hope woke up like many of you did 5 weeks ago and said, Dad, you're the only person I know who's in elected office. You need to stop what's happening with this. I'll take my kick in the butt for the NRA. I spent 25 years in the Army and I hunt. And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
From my understanding of what, that man, that vet was talking about, the person that had to take his place. What is he talking about when he says that? I'm gonna replay this so y'all can see.
Among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
That's crazy, y'all. This is crazy. Look at this clip. This is what JD Vance had to say.
What really bothers me about Tim Waltz, as a Marine who served his country in uniform, when the United States Marine Corps, when the United States of America asked me to go to Iraq to serve my country, I did it. I did what they asked me to do it, and I did it honorably, and I'm very proud of that service. When Tim Waltz was asked by his country to go to Iraq, you know what he did? He dropped out of the Army and allowed his unit to go without him, a fact that he's been criticized for aggressively by a lot of the people that he served with. I think it's shameful to prepare your unit to go to Iraq, to make a promise that you're going to follow through, and then to drop out right before you actually...
That's cold, y'all. That's a low blow. Like, think about that. I would be mad. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't a person that, want to hold grudges and did this, that, and the other. But then I feel like it's one thing. This how I look at it. I feel like it's one thing if he did that, he just did that, and then years later, he just go by, it, don't talk about it, leave it alone. Of course, the Vance is gonna, do something, but it's just a simple fact of that man just lied in the last clip. He dropped out. He making it seem like he did those things, and he didn't. Saying that he didn't went to war, saying that he went to Iraq and did it. No, you didn't. Because they saying you quit. You dropped out. This is what, when I say this, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the fakeness. Kamala picked exactly a spitting image of her. Fakeness. Fake, fake, fake. And people they got to start realizing that. People going to sit there and vote for two people they want in the White House that's completely fake. That's giving them literally that's think about this, y'all. We're in a horrible position right now as Americans. We are in a horrible position. All jokes aside, y'all know, we're in a horrible position. You have people complaining about everything. We talk about it all the time. The border, the prices on groceries, the prices on gas. We talked about, so many homeless vets that didn't actually served in war. But you go and you lie about it. That's crazy. It's crazy to me. You know, but then you have these people that sit there and want Kamala to get in there and do exactly what she's been doing. Him to go in there. You know, he's a person, what they say, are putting, you know, the tampons and you know, and boys' restrooms at school. And from what I've heard, hopefully I don't get in trouble for saying this, but from what I've heard, allegedly, I'm pretty sure, you know, I have to watch what I say on here too, y'all knows, but a person that let the riots happen, a person that, like, y'all want to destructive, like, messed up, y'all people want that? Or would you rather have, you know, the truth, straightforward? I'm being real. I'm gonna speak off what's on my mind. I'm gonna say what's real for y'all. We gonna change this around. Oh, Florida getting closed. You know, we gonna lower these prices. We gonna do that. Like, why do people want that? It's crazy to me. Make sure y'all hit the like, subscribe, and definitely appreciate y'all. Let me know y'all comments and thoughts down below. Catch y'all next one.